So there's a lot of resources available at Investors Health, also through SectorSurfer itself and through the users group. I would encourage you to take a look at those when you can, okay? Presentations, both the videos, we should have 2 videos tonight, possibly 3. They will be available here on the website. We have about 55 or so videos. I had 109 videos, and I had to take down 50 or so videos when I got a letter from Investors Business Daily. They didn't like that I and 4 or 5 people here used videos that refer to their documentation. And then 2 weeks ago, the Emeryville Investors Business Group received a notice also, and they have like 2,000 members. So the founder of that resigned, and all kinds of stuff's going on. So unfortunately, legal action has been taken. That's why we've had to take down all the IBD related stuff, unfortunately, because it's very helpful information for investing.
But it's unrelated to this.
No.
No?
No, it was. I had over 50 videos that were on Investors Business Daily. That's all been removed. So
you can't do anything?
we're trying. We're trying to work things out with IBD, but with our one-man show, how can you compete?
Yeah, they didn't think it was
Financially,
commercial,
legally,
huh?
you can't.
They didn't think it was a commercial for them? You would think that that would be good advertisement.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
They probably think,
yeah,
since
I-
Joe
there-
can't provide the stuff, that they'll sucker all the people who are used to look at Joe's stuff into getting subscriptions. That's
Yes.
pretty unlikely, but.
Yeah. There's an internal debate
Especially out of this group.
between the proprietary people wanting to maintain their proprietary data and the other people who are in charge of meetups who want to sell to promote. So there's an internal debate. Right now, the attorneys are winning.
On the other way, as always.
Okay,
No matter what happens.
okay, good news. I just received confirmation from Scott that he is coming to Silicon Valley on May 19th. We have arrangements made. We're going to meet at the University Club in beautiful Palo Alto, California. Going to be meeting at the club at 6:30 p.m. So we want to make sure you all come. The other big subject that is coming our way, and we're going to hear more about it on May 19th, is Rising Star. During the last 6 months, or maybe even a year, we've heard tidbits of information, a little information here, a little information there about Rising Star and what it is. So I received this last night from Scott, and he said I can share it with all of you. So it's difficult to read back there, so I'm going to try to read it here. Scott said, Joe, I am furiously burning the candle at both ends to have Rising Star ready for introduction in May. And that will be the highlight topic both at my May 15th presentation in San Diego and the May 17th presentation to the LA chapter, where they've given me 2 speaker slots. While there is a lot that cannot be said yet about Rising Star until all the pieces really do come together, there is sufficient evidence and experimental results to expect that Rising Star will reverse a fundamental change in how stock strategies operate and perform.
Represent.
Represent, I said reverse.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you.
They're quite opposite.
Yeah. That Rising Star will represent a fundamental change in how stock strategies operate and perform. A change that I would represent as fundamentally equal to the importance of the fundamental basis for SectorSurfer. It will remove all the hindsight, slight credibility problems that exist with current top dog stock strategies. What I am saying to you is that this will not be trivial. How do you do, let me tell you about the same old stuff, the kind of presentation. While I probably will and should cover the basics for newbies, any of your group that invests in stocks will not want to miss this. So it's a major fundamental change that's coming in Rising Star. So he encourages you, I encourage you to make time available, mark your calendars for May 18th, and come to our meeting in Palo Alto.
That's probably important that he's coming up with something like that, because a lot of people like myself have always thought that SectorSurfer really was inappropriate to do stock portfolios. It's fine for mutual funds and ETFs, but it just was crazy results for stocks, and I'm glad to see he's doing something.
Price
about
is
it.
risky.
Same thing.
So that will definitely be a benefit to those of us who also trade individual equities in addition to funds, ETFs, and so forth. Now, the other thing I want to bring up here is, I don't know if you know it, many of you are also members of Al Z's AAII, Silicon Valley Computerized and Mechanical Investing Group. I took 4 videos there last week, was it? And they are now also available. So if you're looking into what is an AAI meeting all about, and how to use global tactical asset allocation. In other words, how to take your money and allocate it globally in different countries. You want to look at that because he's got C.C. Lim, the presenter, has a very interesting twist on how to do that. So those 4 videos are also available at Investors Help. Here's the location. Easy to find. We got a nice picture for AAII, a separate page dedicated to Al. So that's the conclusion of the formal presentation. Does anyone have any questions they'd like to ask at this particular time? Gary.
Do you happen to know, SectorSurfer picks the best one? Do you happen to know if Scott is working on anything that picks the worst one, such that you might want to short it?
The question is, SectorSurfer picks the best one, being what, strategy?
Yeah, well, the best ticker out of the 12.
Best ticker out of the 12. Is Scott working on anything that picks the worst one in hopes that, or in consideration that we could short sell short the worst one? To my knowledge, he's not working on that.
But couldn't you use those reverse ETFs?
That's a possibility.
Yeah, but that's, well, okay.
Could you-
Okay. You can take a reverse ETF, and if it's at the top, I guess the positive version is the worst, I guess, but yeah, okay.
Yeah,
that's a
that would only
possibility.
work in a bear market.
Well, but if you're taking the best and the worst, and you short the worst against the best, you're doing a pair trade, and so,
Yeah, pair trade.
you know, if the market goes up, it sort of takes out some of the volatility.
No, I don't know that. So you got 2 good questions to send to
I hope
Scott.
you're listening to this, Scott.
Right, he'll listen to this. It's better if he gets an email from
Okay.
you as just one of
Yeah,
our
people
distinguished.
who for years have tried trading both a long ETF and a short ETF, mirror images of each other. All you do is lose money because you just
I
keep
don't- I
paying
don't-
expenses
I don't
for
buy
that.
that.
Well,
I don't
go
buy
ahead and
that.
run the experiment,
I'm
but
doing it, and it's-
don't put a bunch of money out until you try it a few
Well,
times.
I'm doing it, that's what's happening.
So that'd be a good presentation in the future. Future probably have nothing much to do with SectorSurfer, but we're all about also making money in the markets using pair trading, SectorSurfer, IBD, AAII, options, astrology.
Whatever works.
Okay, any other questions?
I have a question for Glenn. Did you use the sandbox to do your analysis, or did you have to put those strategies into the actual?
No, I started out in the sandbox, and then I moved them up into the real part. And the point Joe made earlier is absolutely right. When you move it up, all of a sudden, boom, you get a new set of data. And oftentimes, it can alter the results compared to the 90-year-old or 90-day-old data that's
Right,
done in the
and so you were
sandbox.
doing all these analyses, hundreds of analyses.
No, I moved them up before I started doing all of the advanced
So you had to
option
do
work.
that one at a time, or
Yeah.
pay for a lot of them?
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
I don't know,
So it doesn't work very well.
Well, it works on a gross sense, but if you really want to fine tune it, it needs to be up where you have current data.
yeah, I think a benefit of the sandbox is at least a place to start. And then from there, you can find some candidates, move them into a paid position, and get current data and see then what the results are.
Yeah, that is fine.
I also have a question for Glenn. How, do you have an estimate of how many hundreds of hours you've put into this so far?
Oh, that's a tough one.
He works at 10 cents an hour.
Yeah, I'm cheap. Quite a bit of time doing the knob twisting on the advanced options. Even though you don't have to explore all 460 odd combinations, for obvious reasons, you know, if
Well,
you're.
I was just trying to get a reading, you know, have you spent maybe 200 hours doing this, 500 hours, 1,000? The reason I asked the question, I
Probably-
used to do this kind of work.
Probably a
and it's-
couple hundred hours.
It's enormously time consuming.
Yeah, probably a couple hundred hours.
Now, even though I think we spend hundreds of hours, or could spend hundreds of hours in creating the strategy or the portfolio of strategies, I would hope that once it's created, then the amount of work, research, effort would go down. But I know
Well, it
this
goes
group
chance
here.
of hell.
You
that's
gotta
right.
do, you gotta do something to keep these retired guys off the
We
streets.
have too many engineers that
That's
want to fine tune it. Gotta just tune this a little more to increase the profits, right? It's human nature.
But didn't we see last week that even with Storm Guard, just using the SPY, you can make a decent living? Didn't we see a chart of that last week?
Crossover?
Sounds good to me. I don't know for sure what chart we're talking about.
Well,
The
with
SPY.
SPY using
Yeah.
Storm Guard. You know, getting out when the market goes bearish and staying in when it's bullish.
Yeah.
You remember seeing that, right?
Yeah.
Would be.
You can make a reasonable return.
Yes.
With hardly any effort.
That, yeah.
So then you can vary your effort from 1 hour to 200.
Yes.
Well, it's the
And try to
same.
beat Storm Guard with the
It's
SPY.
similar to strategies that use just the basic Fidelity Select funds. You can do 20% a year with those without doing a whole lot of work.
Yeah.
You talking about with SectorSurfer
Yeah,
guidance?
yeah.
See, and as I mentioned a few minutes ago, we can take what the experts, the creators have done, who've spent 2, 3, 4, 500 hours, take a look at them and may fit your needs, and if so, sounds good. Thank you, Glenn.
Or improve them,
Or,
improve them.
there you go, improve them also. Okay, well, thank you all for coming. I look forward to May 19th when Scott Judge joins us here. We'll be continuing part 3 of this evening with the computerized technical analysis group. Thank you.
Thank you.